This is Derek from ClassicGameRoom.com, and if the guy who does the Micro Machines commercials transformed himself into a video game, it would probably look something like this! This is F-Zero GX for the Nintendo Gamecube, and this is one of the most challenging, needlessly fast, and throw your controller across the room difficult racing games I have ever played. Now, just in case your eyes aren't able to detect the light emanating from your monitor and convert it into the electrochemical impulses necessary to see what's actually happening in this review fast enough, futuristic hover cars are going way faster than they probably should be. These vehicles actually make Marty McFly's hovering DeLorean in Back to the Future 2 look weak. 88 miles per hour? How about 88,000 miles per hour? The third console iteration in the ridiculously fast-paced F-Zero series, F-Zero GX is an unconventional, arcade-like racing game based entirely on blistering, breakneck, white-knuckle speed, and track memorization. Fans of racing games who are looking for a serious challenge should look no further than F-Zero GX, because without learning every last intricacy of every last track and developing the reflexes of a cheetah along the way, it is virtually impossible to best the challenges you're confronted with in this game. Now, make no mistake about it, F-Zero GX is not for everyone. And this game is outrageously challenging, and some people just won't be able to do it. And believe me, there's no shame in that. I've had the game since it launched almost 7 years ago, and I still can't get past the third chapter of the game's story mode. Seriously, F-Zero GX is nail-bitingly, soul-crushingly difficult. Now, this is a Nintendo racing game, but there isn't a Koopa Shell, go-kart, or smiling cloud in the sky to be found. F-Zero GX was actually developed by one of SEGA's development teams in conjunction with Nintendo, so the game benefits from the trademarks of both companies, SEGA's sense of speed and Nintendo's knack for polish. With a ton of bizarre and unique tracks, a Grand Prix mode, a nearly impossible story mode, 30 extraterrestrial drivers, a garage for vehicle customization, and even a multiplayer mode for up to 4 players, F-Zero GX is as deep as it is lightning fast. Much of F-Zero GX's ballsiness may come from the fact that, unlike most racers, this game actually has 2 backbones. The Grand Prix and story modes sort of share the role as the main attractions in F-Zero GX, and the coolest thing about that is that they're completely different. Now, the Grand Prix mode is a lot like similar modes in other racers. You pick a driver, pick a vehicle, pick a cup, and then hit the road. There are 3 cups, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emeralds, as well as unlockable cups. Each of them pits you against 29 other drivers, and they can all be played on any of the game's difficulty levels. They're called things like Standard and Expert, but if they wanted to be more accurate, they should have named them things like Face Melting, or Kick Yourself Repeatedly in the Head, or Seriously, Why Even Bother? The 20 tracks you'll encounter within the Grand Prix Cups are mostly designed extraordinarily well. They feature punishing corkscrews and loops and twists and turns. They really get your pulse going almost as fast as your vehicle. The settings are varied, ranging from futuristic highways and colossal alien deserts to dense forests and lava-filled industrial parks, and they never fail to provide a nice, enjoyable drive at supersonic speeds. Of course. And then there's the story mode, which is somehow even more difficult than driving in the Grand Prix. You'll play as Captain Falcon, F-Zero's blue-clad hero and the apparent distant cousin of Space Ghost, as he goes through an elaborate series of challenges complete with story and beautiful video sequences. If it doesn't make you want to throw your television off the roof, most gamers should enjoy the story mode an awful lot. I mentioned these two modes are the backbone of the game, and what's really neat about that is how they work in conjunction with one another. You have to actually purchase new chapters in the story mode to play them, and you obviously can't buy chapters without earning cash in the Grand Prix. The two modes work extremely well in tandem, and they give players a reason to go back and forth between them to experience all the thrills and the savage kicks to the groin that F-Zero GX offers. Perhaps even more so than the insane tracks and speed, the game's controls are the secret to mastering F-Zero GX. You can get by on simple tactics like speeding up and drifting in earlier races, but if you really want to conquer this game and advance to its later rounds, you'll need to master the intricacies of its controls. Now, some of the advanced maneuvers like 360 spins and smashing into vehicles, they actually become paramount in the more difficult courses. So in addition to memorizing level layouts and dealing with the speed, you'll need to really get a handle on the game's deceptively deep control scheme as well.
You will pay for that.
As you can probably tell by looking at it, this game is drop-dead gorgeous. It has a really cool alien aesthetic, and the graphics are beautiful for the platform. In fact, F-Zero GX looks better than a lot of Wii games. And you know, with the exception of perhaps that demasculinizing difficulty, it's really hard to levy much criticism against F-Zero GX. Now, perhaps if it had been a bit easier, more people would have been able to enjoy the game, which was unfortunately a bomb at retail when it released in 2003, despite the overwhelming critical praise it received. A lot of folks called this one of the very best racers of the last generation, and even though it sometimes makes me want to smash my GameCube controller into 1,000 pieces, I would echo that sentiment. F-Zero GX is an underappreciated gem, and it's one of the very coolest Nintendo games of the 2000s. And seriously, if you can beat this game, congratulations. A winner is you.